Imagine being born into the world not just with a sibling by your side, but literally joined together, destined to share every heartbeat, every step, and every chapter of life. That is the extraordinary reality of Abigail Loraine Hensel and Brittany Lee Hensel, conjoined twins born on March 7, 1990, in New Germany, Minnesota. From the very beginning, their story has been one of resilience, teamwork, and determination, an inspiration to millions who have followed their journey from childhood into adulthood. Abby and Brittany are dicephalic parapagus twins, meaning they share one body with two heads, two hearts, two spines, and a complex blend of shared and separate organs. Each twin controls one side of their body. Abby commands the right, while Brittany commands the left. What seems unimaginable to most people became their everyday reality. From their first days of life, even the simplest movements, grasping a toy, rolling over, or taking a single step, required flawless cooperation. Yet they learned quickly. By instinct and persistence, they figured out how to move as one. Their childhood was marked not by impossibility, but by adaptation. As toddlers, they learned to crawl together, balancing their individual impulses with mutual rhythm. As children, they learned to run, swim, ride bikes, and even play the piano. Each activity required patience, timing, and communication. When one twin moved too quickly, the other compensated. When one felt tired, the other offered support. To them, teamwork was not a skill but a necessity. What could have been a life of restriction became a masterclass in coordination and shared determination. Their parents, Patty and Mike Hensel, faced unimaginable choices early on. Doctors presented the possibility of surgical separation, but the risks were overwhelming. The chances of both girls surviving were slim, and even if the surgery succeeded, they would face lifelong complications. After long nights and endless discussions, the Hensels decided to let their daughters live as they were, together. It was a decision rooted in love, faith, and courage. That choice became one of the defining acts of their family story, allowing Abby and Brittany to grow, thrive, and eventually live a life full of purpose. Their story began to attract public attention almost from the start. In the mid-1990s, when they were still children, they appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show and later on the cover of Life magazine under the headline One Body, Two Souls. For many, it was the first time seeing conjoined twins who had not only survived, but were thriving, attending school, and living full lives. The public's fascination was not rooted in pity, but in admiration. People saw two girls whose spirit, humor, and energy transcended their physical condition. Over time, Abby and Brittany became the subjects of several documentaries, including Joined for Life. Abby and Brittany turned 16. The film offered a glimpse into their teenage years, getting their driver's license, attending school, and exploring independence. Viewers saw how they navigated everything from arguments over clothing to learning how to drive. Each task revealed the depth of their cooperation. When they took the driving test, for example, Abby handled the pedals and gear shift while Brittany managed the turn signals and lights. The result was perfect coordination, a balance between instinct and trust that mirrored their relationship. In 2012, the twins reached another milestone with the launch of their own TLC reality series, Abby and Brittany. The show followed them as they graduated from college, traveled to Europe, and prepared to enter the professional world. It allowed audiences to see beyond the surface, to witness their personalities, humor, disagreements, and ambitions. The series portrayed them not as a medical phenomenon, but as two young women determined to live fulfilling, ordinary lives. Education became their shared passion. Both Abby and Brittany attended Bethel University, where they earned degrees in education. Their dream was to teach, to shape young minds, and to share the values that had guided them: empathy, patience, and teamwork. In 2013, that dream became reality when they began teaching 5th grade at Sunnyside Elementary School in New Brighton, Minnesota. In the classroom, they quickly became beloved figures. Students were fascinated but also inspired by their ability to work seamlessly as one. Abby and Brittany could engage the class with humor, handle lessons with coordination, and bring a unique perspective to teamwork and perseverance. Colleagues admired their professionalism, describing them as organized, patient, and deeply compassionate. They often finished each other's sentences, alternated instructions, and maintained a rhythm that seemed effortless. Teaching gave them stability, structure, and a sense of normalcy away from the cameras. Outside the classroom, they preferred a private, grounded life. Fame had never been their pursuit. They declined offers for new shows and rarely gave interviews, choosing instead to focus on their work and family. Despite public curiosity, they made it clear they wanted to be known not as conjoined twins, but simply as Abby and Brittany, two women living a shared but ordinary life. Then, in 2021, their story took a new turn that once again captured the world's attention. Abby married Josh Bowling, a nurse and Army veteran. The couple's relationship had developed quietly and, for a time, remained private. When the news became public in early 2024, it was accompanied by a handful of photos from their wedding. A small, intimate ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. The images showed genuine joy. Abby smiling beside Josh, with Brittany right there as always, part of the moment yet allowing her sister's happiness to take center stage. Their marriage reignited discussions about love, identity, and individuality. How could marriage work in such a situation? How did Abby and Brittany navigate boundaries and emotions? Yet those who knew them best understood that for the twins, every step in life had always been about respect, communication, and compromise. The same principles that allowed them to walk, teach, and live together now guided them through new emotional territory. Josh has since appeared in several family photos with the sisters, often smiling beside them at social gatherings and community events. While Abby is legally married, Brittany remains unmarried, but their lives remain deeply intertwined. As always, they continue to function as a team, one family, one household, built on understanding and love. In late 2024, new rumors began circulating online. A video appeared that hinted at an even greater milestone: the possibility of pregnancy. At first, it was dismissed as speculation. But in August 2025, Abby and Brittany were photographed during a public outing carrying a newborn in a car seat. The image spread across social media within hours, sparking an international conversation. Was the baby theirs biologically? Was the child adopted, or perhaps a relative's? No official confirmation has been released, and the twins have remained silent on the subject. Out of respect for their privacy, their close friends and family have avoided commenting. Still, the sight of Abby and Brittany with a baby moved millions of people around the world. It felt like a moment of completion, a new chapter in a story that had always been about possibility. The idea of motherhood had been on their minds for years. In a 2006 interview, they both expressed their desire to marry and have children someday. Given that they share reproductive organs, any pregnancy would be medically unique, perhaps unprecedented in modern history. For that reason, the public's curiosity has been intense. But the twins have consistently drawn a line between what they choose to share and what they keep private. This balance between openness and privacy has defined their lives. From an early age, they learned to navigate the world's gaze with grace. They understand the fascination people feel toward them, yet they have always insisted on being treated as individuals. They often speak in unison when they agree, but they also express their individual identities in clear ways. Abby is more outspoken, analytical, and sometimes stubborn, while Brittany is more easygoing, creative, and reflective. Their clothes often reflect those differences, custom-made to complement their individual styles while fitting one shared body. Despite living under constant public curiosity, the twins have never lost their humor or optimism. They often joke about their condition, disarming others with laughter and wit. They have never allowed pity to define them, nor have they sought attention. What they desire most is to be recognized for their humanity, their talents, and their achievements. Now at 35 years old, Abby and Brittany stand among the longest surviving dicephalic parapagus twins in history. Their longevity is a triumph of medicine, but even more so a triumph of willpower and unity. From the moment they entered the world, doctors could not predict how long they might live. Yet each year they have defied expectations, not by living cautiously, but by embracing life fully. They have traveled the world, built careers, shared laughter, and faced challenges that most people could not imagine.